We're working on 8th grade math here, number set 1, and that is also the tile 1 problem. So determine for each number whether it is a rational number or an irrational number. So highlighting those two key words, and if we remember from a previous video that inside a rational is a ratio, and inside that ratio we know that we're talking about a fraction. So we're looking for fractions with a fancy word calling a terminating decimal. Okay, terminating decimal, it ends. So when we look at pi, pi is the classic irrational number because that number is 3.14 and the decimal just keeps on going on and on and on and on, never repeats. So because it never repeats, that is irrational. So pi is probably the most famous irrational number. So now we look at 2/3. 2/3 is clearly a fraction. And so since it's a fraction, we know that it is a rational number. And so we'll mark rational. And now we take a look at 26 over square root of 7. We noticed that in a previous video that the square root of 7 is irrational. But we like to do a little bit of work right here and put 26 over times radical 7 over 7. All we did was multiply this 26 over radical 7 times essentially 1, or radical 7 over radical 7, and we get 26 radical 7 over 7. Well, this part of it we know is a rational number, but this right here, since that is the square root of 7, we're just going to rewrite it right here. So that is the square root of 7. We know that this part of it is irrational, and so it makes this problem right here irrational. And then the last problem, radical 45. Do a little factor tree. We can go radical 9 times radical 5. Radical 9 is the same thing as 3 times radical 5. And so for the same reason that we had previous, we have the square root of 5, which is irrational, multiplied by a rational number 3, and so that number is going to be irrational.